Hey guys, to start with this recipe, you need first to make a smooth dough with 500 grams of plain flour, half a teaspoon of salt and 250 milliliters of cold water. Then the second part is to make a dough out of spinach, and the reason why you do that is to give it the green color, it's natural color actually, as opposed to artificial color. So you have 300 grams of plain flour, then you blanch 100 grams of fresh spinach leaves with boiling water for 5 seconds. So you blend it, adding 70 milliliters of water. Oh, by the way guys, this is a recipe Uncle Roger will never dare put his hand on because it needs a lot of skills, and I doubt he has any of these skills. Well, Uncle Roger, I'm calling you out.
Oh my god!
After you get 150 milliliters of spinach smoothie, which you will mix with the 300 grams of flour. So you add them little by little, and then you make a smooth dough. Now we move into the vegetables. We're going to chop 600 grams of Chinese cabbage and put some salt and leave it out so it can release its water. Now the secret ingredient, the thing that makes all the difference, is this Spanish Iberico pork. It makes a huge difference, and if you can grab some of that meat, I mean you're going to love jiaozi for the rest of your life, because this is the most impressive jiaozi I've ever eaten, and this pork is the reason for it. So you get 400 grams of ground pork, so you need to chop these porks. Then another key ingredient is king prawn. You need 300 grams of it without any shell or tail, and you will blend them. You mix both meats together. Then you chop 5 or 6 slices of ginger, which you will make a puree with as well, adding a cup of water. Now back to the meat. We're going to add salt, soy sauce, rice wine, oyster sauce, 1 egg, some sesame oil, and then you mix everything in one direction. Then slowly you add the ginger puree while mixing still in one direction. Then you can add a few drops of dark soy sauce and then put the whole thing aside. Now we use another great ingredient for this boiled and fried pork dumplings, which is 50 grams of dry black hair fungus, which you will blend as well, then mix in the meat. Now we take a whole bunch of spring onions, which we chop and blend, put in the meat, but don't mix yet. You also put the cabbage that we chopped also in the meat, but you don't mix it yet. And then just put the whole thing aside. Now back to the dough. We use the plain dough and the spinach dough. So what we're going to do, because we're making around 100 dumplings, to make it easier, we will use 1/5 of the plain flour dough and 1/5 of the green spinach dough. So you put some flour on your working board and you make kind of a long tail, 2 centimeter diameter long tail with both the green dough and the plain flour dough. And basically what you're going to do is flatten the green dough and plain flour dough. You'll put it inside the green dough and mix both of them together. So after that, you cut this long tail in 2 centimeter tall pieces, mix them with some flour and then flatten them. So you can create a 7 centimeter diameter wrap where you're going to put your meat and create your jiaozi. After you flatten your dough, you can mix all these ingredients. Then you take about 1 teaspoon of meat and you put them inside the wrap and you create a jiaozi with them. So basically this is a very simple jiaozi technique where you just need to press on your thumb and index finger to create the shape. So now I'm going to show you 2 cooking versions. The first one will be the fried pork dumplings and the second one will be a boiled pork dumplings version. So you just need to put a frying pan on medium heat fire, put some olive oil in the center, which you will use to grease the bottom of the dumplings. You cover the whole thing and you let it cook for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, you add 1 cup of water. You cover again for a further 3 minutes and let the water evaporate. And then after 3-4 minutes, you're going to start hearing a sizzling sound. The dumplings are ready. Now for the boiled version, you need to fill a big wok with water and bring the water to boil and slowly add the dumplings by stirring occasionally to avoid these dumplings sticking at the bottom. Now you're going to have a process where every time the water comes to a boil, you pour 1 cup of cold water inside it. So you're going to do that 3 times. So you wait for the water to come to a boil, add some cold water, cover, and then when it goes back to a boil again, you add the cold water and you cover. So you do that 3 times. Then when your dumplings are ready, you put them on a plate. And this is optional. I advise you guys to first try these dumplings without any sauce so you can appreciate the meat and all the great flavor. But for some extra kick, you can create your own sauce with some Chinese chili and Chinese vinegar. So guys, if you try this dumpling, let me know how it went. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And hit the notification bell so whenever we have something new coming out, you're the first one to know about it.